And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Copa Hyperion number 44, our bi-weekly Latino American tournament. And as we get into things, massive shout out to Lord Logan, Papa Logan in the chat as we kick things off. He did give some subs in the chat. Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you. Gifting 20 gifted subs. Oh my god. Or 19 actually. Interesting. Thank you so much, Lord Logan. We appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoys those subs. Of course, all of our subscribers do get replay packs. They get access to our Discord channel, and you get those beautiful emotes in the chat as well. And what isn't more beautiful than a duck? But thank you, Logan. Thank you. Shout out to everyone else in the chat as well. Massive shout out to Dastan. Dastan gave us a raid, a Chilean Protoss player. He was just saying in the chat that he would have played in today's tournament. Unfortunately, something came up, so a bit of a feels bad man. Hopefully we can get him next week. But before that happens, we have a game on our hands, and oh my god, we're going, let's go. Because spawning in the bottom left hand corner and also the center left hand corner question mark in the map, we have the Mexican Terran player himself. He is pink, representing Unidos por el Vicio. It is WhiteIdra. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player himself, representing Team Super. He is not a Terran, he's not a Protoss, he is the ZergLord. Willie Scout. Oh, he is poised to check this location. So WhiteIdra is the reason why we wanted to cast him. If you were not here for the Home Story Cup qualifiers, WhiteIdra popped off, mate. He took down pro players like Eon. He took it to the ace match against Tavo. WhiteIdra has been just outperforming, really, to be honest. Like, for a long time he's been a great player who can take some maps. He's been a very cheesy player, as we can see, but for him to actually take series off of some of the other GMs in the region was insane. And I wanted to see if he could keep it up, if he could keep it going. We'll see, as his proxy does get scouted, and immediately the ZergLord throws down a Roach Warren. Oh my god, so the Marines are on the way. Again, a little bit unlucky here by WhiteIdra. His goal here is to try and get a kill on this hatchery. We'll see when he starts to transition back at home. He's just actually doubling down and throwing down more bunkers. Like, this is great and all. Lings are being forced out, and we'll see if they can get anything done. Actually trying to slip by those bunkers. It looks like two of them will, but with the Reapers, yeah, everything will. Oh my god, will it get chased down? No, it will not. They try to dive on some of these reinforcements. So far the Star Step micro is pretty good, but one Marine will go down in the end. A couple more Lings are actually slipping on past as well, and that will make things a little bit awkward back at home. There aren't too many Lings though, and yo, the Reaper's even chasing this down. I love that WhiteIdra did make a Reaper with this, by the way. He made a choice, and because of that, he's going to be able to chase down all of these slow Lings. They will do nothing across the map. Meanwhile, more Marines are being rallied in, and I'm waiting for it. There we go. We have that transition. Bunker is thrown down at home, as well as a factory. The bunker is a little bit maybe unnecessary, but you know, he's just trying to play it safe. Roaches come down, and there aren't that many Marines, even though we have 3 bunkers. Only 3 Marines. Ay. So it looks like in the end, WhiteIdra doesn't have enough to destroy the hatchery, so not looking that great here for WhiteIdra. He did force a response, and because of that, the ZergLord is down in workers, but he is up in tech. He's coming across the map with Roach Ravager right now, and I don't think there's a way for WhiteIdra to stop this. Like, he didn't deal enough damage. He didn't keep the ZergLord contained, which is what you need to be doing here with this proxy 2 racks. He's gonna get back home, and there's a bunker, sure, but there's some high ground vision. It's so important for this Overlord to die, by the way. It looks like WhiteIdra, he knows that. He does focus down that Overlord in the end, just barely will get up into that bunker. Without high ground vision, and now the ZergLord has to expose himself if he wants to buy this down, so he does dive on in. Are the repairs good enough? Oh! Ooh, the repairs are not good enough in the end. Thankfully, there is a second bunker. One Roach will go down. Ooh, but there's still so many more Ravagers here, and it looks like that last bunker is going to go down. Up. Just barely. It looks like they're WhiteIdra overextending a little bit here, trying to go for a bit of a surround. There is a third bunker. It looks like he should be fine with only 3 Ravagers, but there's a lot of lost fighting time here. The ZergLord has done a lot of counter damage, and this did not work out for WhiteIdra. He's going for a medevac? Okay, so he plans to go for a little bit of a drop across the map. Bold move. I kind of like it because depending on where he goes with this drop, he could even deny the third base. I don't know if he's going to get many drone kills, but denying the third would be huge if he could do so. But the ZergLord, he's catching back up when it comes to the workers. We have double Evo chambers. He's just going full Roach Ravager. And WhiteIdra, again, his proxy just didn't do what it needed to. Not this game, at least. But earlier I was just praising WhiteIdra because, again, he has been getting very impressive results recently, and we'll see if he can do so again this week. You know, was it a fluke? Was it a one-off thing? Or can he replicate that? It's going to be difficult because the ZergLord is a very strong Zerg player in the region, much more so than Eon, for example. So there's a reason as to why WhiteIdra did go for a cheese like this. It makes a lot of sense. And here we go. He goes for a bit of a drop across the map. This time not with his tank though, so not that much firepower. He's going to go for drone kills instead, but he gets spotted. And the and the ZergLord will push this drop away. Idra has showed up big a few times this year, or am I thinking of Beastlord? Idra has taken games off of some good players, but it was Home Story Cup where WhiteIdra really popped off. You may be thinking of Beastlord. Beastlord is a player who has also been popping off this year as well. This year specifically more than any other year. Meanwhile, at least, you know, another Overlord gets down. I'm just really concerned about this 1-1 timing here from the ZergLord. Like, his drone count is getting insane. WhiteIdra is still on one base, by the way. What I'm shocked by is that he hasn't started a natural. He is putting his hopes and dreams into these Banshees and into this push. Oh boy. Do we have any detection? We do. We have spores in the main, in the natural, in the third base. Oh, the third base is looking a little bit exposed, but the Banshee goes into the main. Gonna try and get some drone kills, and maybe it can, but oh god, he's gotta be careful. Ugh, gets forced back, and WhiteIdra, you know, he's all in. He's making stim. I'm just trying to think, like, it's gonna take a long time to get stim. Like, the army is here and now, you know, we don't have time for this. We don't have time. Decent micro. Almost one Roach goes down here, but oh god, with only a single tank, it's gonna get bowed down. The mines are being bowed down as well. I know Roach Ravager isn't amazing against Marines, but Marines without stim, I don't know. It's gonna be really difficult for WhiteIdra to make this push work. The Banshee does a little bit of damage here, and there are only 3 Ravagers, so maybe there's a world where his tank can, like, outperform, but the bios are connecting, the tank goes down, GG gets called, and the ZergLord takes game number 1. WhiteIdra just trying to be a little bit cheeky there. No harm, no foul. But the ZergLord is now up in this series, so I worry a little bit here for WhiteIdra. When it comes to a longer macro game, I do think that WhiteIdra could maybe take a win off of the ZergLord. He does prefer mech over bio. His mech is pretty good, not gonna lie. But I feel like game 1, that cheese is a little bit of a tell. It's like, oh, maybe WhiteIdra isn't feeling too comfortable, too confident against the ZergLord. I don't blame him. Don't blame him. As again, we are still getting things underway. So far, no updates in the bracket. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the bracket yourself. I do see James Slovy there. Hold on. Okay, yeah, Lord Lurkin, he's on it. He's helping you out. It's all good. Lights chest. Que rico. Das down, please. Oh, God. Alright, here we go. As we dive into game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Terran player himself. He is pink, representing Unidos por el Vicio, the cheesiest player in all of Latin America. It is WhiteIdra. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres, we have the Brazilian Zerg player himself, representing Team Super. It is TheZergLord. Headed over to a couple of proxy locations. a little bit paranoid here, and I do not blame him. I'm quickly checking the pathing of the second Overlord, and yes, he is checking all over the place to make sure there is no proxy, even the center of the map, which is another common location. So the ZergLord doesn't want to be done dirty again, not 2 games in a row. So just crossing his, I almost said crossing his I's and dotting his T's. You know what I mean. And WhiteIdra is doing what he does best. This is a very unique, iconic WhiteIdra kind of Sim City, and I don't know how I feel about it, but quite often he goes for his racks here on the low grounds, so he can wall off. He's going to get his factory as well, some depots. It's a way to play things safe, but it really does kind of tell your story a little bit, like without hiding any of your tech, you know. Again, I was talking about it, WhiteIdra, he more often than not goes into mech. He just prioritizes factory production. And because he's exposing his first racks like this, it is very easy to scout the fact that there aren't going to be any add-ons here, that there won't be stim on the way if there is a stim on the way, and for the ZergLord to realize what is going on. Meanwhile, WhiteIdra, he's on the hunt, he's on the prowl for some Overlords. Unfortunately, because the ZergLord was looking for proxies, the Overlords aren't where they usually are at this stage of the game, so that they're not here. they were busy looking for buildings, so WhiteIdra will not get an Overlord kill. A little bit unlucky due to his reputation. The ZergLord was playing things out a little bit safer, He's just droning up back at home. Hatch gas full opener from the ZergLord, going for his third base on time, on location as well. And WhiteIdra, oh, I am excited to see that he's not going for a factory. He's going for a second racks. Is he going to go for 3 racks? That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. We'll see. So far, no add-ons. He's been prioritizing Marines, which makes sense. You know, he wants to fill up this bunker. He wants to be defensive. He wants to deny scouting. Does get a kill on that Ling. Eventually, though, the Overlord will get into the main base. And, okay, it is not going to be 3 racks. More of a 2-1-1. Wow. So, WhiteIdra broadening, expanding his horizons a little bit here. Again, when I think of WhiteIdra in a longer macro game, I am thinking mech, but this man throws down not just 1, not just 2, but 3 Raxes. Oh boy, so this is going to be a very dedicated push. Unfortunately, the Raxes are here in the main, and again, it's not going to take too much effort for the ZergLord to scout this. Unfortunately, like, the Marines are out here trying to do what they can. If they can catch this Overlord, that'll be amazing. Meanwhile, the Ling dips in and, ooh, quickly checking the vision here. The ZergLord, he saw stim researching. So he knows it's going to be a biocentric push coming out here. Meanwhile, interesting, he's going to go for the switch regardless with the factory and this Rax, which means he could be thinking to go for maybe a Marine Hellbat push. Overlord dips in, it sees everything. The Overlord sees everything here in the main, confirms the 2 Raxes, confirms the timing of the starport as well. Doesn't see the 3rd Rax, but I mean, preparing for a 2-1-1 will still be fine anyway. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if an armory gets thrown down. We already have a couple of Marauders, we already have a decent amount of Marines, but the ZergLord should be getting ready. At a certain point, the ZergLord, he's going to cut drones, he's going to focus on Ling Bane. And yeah, we'll see if WhiteIdra can make anything happen with this. So because his Hellions are delayed, like, creep spread is getting a little bit out of control as well. The ZergLord is going to have plenty of time to respond. Here we go. The first wave of Lings are on the way already. He's getting fully saturated on 3 bases. Doesn't have his gases, but because he doesn't need them, to be honest, there's no real reason for that. He doesn't have any tech. There is the armory, so he is indeed going for a Marine Hellbat push, or a Bio Hellbat push. I'm interested because he's actually incorporating some... Do you see the wind mines in production for a moment there? Okay. Ends up... No, he restarts the wind mine. Okay, yeah. Interesting. So because of the armory, like, a wind mine drop could do a lot of damage as well, to be honest. We don't have any spores because WhiteIdra is preparing to defend against a 2-1-1. Or a bio push. Speaking of which, here it is on the front lines. We have our queens ready, we have Lings, we have Banelings as well. The ZergLord is getting ready for all of this. WhiteIdra, this is not gonna work. Ooh, but there is a Widowmine involved, so maybe, depending on how good this Widowmine shot is, maybe he can take a fight. It's possible, mate. It is possible. Did that go off on the creep tumor? Am I crazy? Oh my god. The Lings, they roll on in. The Widowmine shot did get wasted earlier. There's one Widowmine remaining here, and it does go up on 3 Lings. Not a bad Widowmine connection, but he needed something a little bit more than that. The push gets cleaned up. And I think it was a creep tumor. This Widowmine has 0 kills. He killed a creep tumor. Not like this, puppy. Not like this. Thankfully, ooh. Widowmines are going to reset. They do go off on the queens though, so they're going to be able to regen their HP. We should be getting some detection here soon. There we go. The Overseer is on the way. Not before another Widowmine shot goes off, but this will get cleaned up. And WhiteIdra has to go back to the drawing board here. He can go for a follow-up timing. He's getting vehicle armor before 1-1. See, this is why I love WhiteIdra, you know? He just does his own thing. He doesn't care what the hell the meta is. Nah, mate. Just do what feels right. Should this feel right? Is kind of the question. We have Concussive Shell on the way. There's the 1-1. I'm curious as to why he prioritized vehicle armor and not vehicle weapons. I wonder what the logic is behind this. I guess it does make these Hellbats tankier, technically. So I guess he doesn't care too much about the Hellbats dealing damage, but more about them, you know, being defensive. Quickly checking. Our Hellbats are affected by the vehicle upgrades, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are, despite them being biological. Oh, now I'm not too sure. Because they're biological because they get healed by medevacs, but that doesn't mean they get affected by the bio upgrades, right? They're still vehicles. I'm pretty sure. We need a Fear Dragon useless facts from that one. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a Ling right on the wall. Oh god! Oh, the boys are pulled off the line. The Hellbats are gonna be able to get up in time. Oh my god! Every single SCV was pulled for this. WhiteIdra doesn't lose a lot, but there's a reason for this. Oh my god! I thought he was pulling the boys to defend against the Ling Flood. No, it just happened to happen at the same time because WhiteIdra is literally going all in. He is pulling the boys. He's sending everything across the map. SCVs aren't amazing here in ZvT because they just die immediately to Banelings, but I mean, I guess maybe you don't need to split anymore. We'll see how this goes. This is not going to end pretty. It's not going to go well. At the same time, we do have a Ling round by getting into the main base and natural of WhiteIdra. The boys are being pulled again. Their goal here is to soak the damage, is to tank all of those Banelings. We'll see how well they can do. Again, WhiteIdra, he does have a lot of Marines, a lot of bio. He is going to be able to take out this 4th base, but he's losing everything back at home. The ZergLord just needs to buy time, and he knows that. All right, here we go. The first wave of Banelings are going to roll in. They are going to get some connections with the Marines. Exclamation mark. Well, out of these SCVs, Lings coming from behind. We see a full surround, and the Banelings, the Ling bait is just a little bit too much. There's a reason why we don't see SCVs being pulled. GG, well played. Good luck. The ZergLord takes it 2-0. I was talking to Yako about this the other day because whenever we cast like Byun or another Korean Terran, he's always like, just pull the boys. Like he's infatuated with pulling the boys against Protoss with good reason. And sometimes he's like, yo, TVZ, just pull the boys, mate. We see there's a reason why it's just not a good thing to do. It doesn't take that many Banelings to clear up all those SCVs, and as we saw, the ZergLord was taking his time with the engagement. You know, he gave WhiteIdra plenty of room. You know, take my base, take my workers. I'm just going to make more Lings. I'm just going to morph in more Banelings, and I will be perfectly fine. That is exactly what happened. GG, well played. Congratulations to the ZergLord for taking the series 2-0. And a shout out to WhiteIdra because he's always a fun player to watch. You can see that he's a really quirky player. You know, he just doesn't really do things on meta, whether it's with cheese or even his building placement. I don't know how he learned all of that. I don't know where he learned that. Maybe it's just something he came up with himself. I would have to ask him. I would love to have an interview with WhiteIdra at some point. But yeah, he just does his own thing. And for those wondering, like WhiteIdra, he is Masters 1. He has taken games and series off of GM 5.4, 5.6k players before. And that's what's like impressive about WhiteIdra. Even players who know how he plays and recognize his style can have trouble with him sometimes. Not the ZergLord. As we saw, the ZergLord handled that very well. Again, the ZergLord, he's one of the best Zerg players in the region for a reason. But massive shout out to WhiteIdra. Always a lot of fun. I know he always watches the VOD, so thank you. Thank you for the games, WhiteIdra. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.